Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Edmonds Moms Room podcast. I'm Dr. Allison Feldt, your host and entrepreneur and owner of Body Motion Physical Therapy and mom of three. Okay, so today is December 31st, and I am obviously recording this. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm recording this from the comfort of my own house because I was going to go into the office to record it. Devin, the general manager of Body Motion, if you've been around the clinic, you know she is the mastermind behind everything that we do. And she is probably not going to be too thrilled that I am recording this from my house. But you know what? At least we have an episode to drop, and it's about to be a hot one. So hang tight. I hope you will get filled in and learn a few things. This episode, we're going to talk about constipation a little bit, clearing your bowels, debloating. It is going to drop on the new year, January 2nd. So why not talk about some techniques to help clear out our bowels and leave us refreshed so we can be ready to hit our new year goals and whatever that looks like. It's such a fun time to catapult ourselves back to our fitness routines. So I'm excited to talk about that today. But before we get to that, okay, so I'm recording this at my house. House still is chaotic. Okay, we had Christmas Day go off here, and I'm recording this at the kitchen table, and I'm looking at, if you're not watching live, it's key lime pie crazy slime. Let's hope the kids don't open this. But you know what? They already did because I'm finding little balls around the container so that are inside the slime. So my kids don't have a good track record with slime, but why the heck did Santa come up and still put slime in their stockings? I don't know, just so they can get it caught in their hair again and embedded in their blankets and their sheets and have to cut their hair out. That's probably why. But that's a podcast for another day. So here we are. We enjoyed our Christmas time, had a beautiful Christmas Eve at my mom's house, then spent time at just with the kids and my husband. Christmas Day, kids woke up. We do the Santa thing. So Santa had come, stockings were filled, excessive amount of materialistic crap was under the tree, courtesy of yours truly. I can't seem to hold myself back, and that's a problem. So we started to book Christmas vacation where we would leave Christmas Day. The last couple of years, we've gone to Phoenix, and we rent a house. My brother and his family come along. My mom comes along. My dad doesn't like to go, and my other brother doesn't like to go. So they watch our dogs, and we go down to the desert. So did that again this year. The whole idea was if we start doing this, we'll enjoy the experiences and have less crap. But it hasn't quite worked out. And the kids still love opening presents, and I love giving them presents. And so it's just a hot mess all the way around. But they have new fun things, and yeah, they're excited. Jayla, my youngest, the 3-year-old, she got an electric car and a bicycle, and all the kids got rollerblades from my dad. So I'm super pumped about that. I used to have rollerblades. I'm going to invest in getting myself a nice pair of rollerblades so I can rollerblade with the kids. I'm super excited to get that form of exercise, but also just have a ton of fun. Probably play some street hockey games in our rollerblades. So I'm looking forward to that in the springtime. And other than that, the best gift I got, well, my dad always gives me a little piece of jewelry. So he gave me a little bracelet from Twist. It's one of my favorite jewelry stores. And it's just like this little beaded bracelet. And I actually have them on from last year. And he gave my daughter one too. And she, of course, left it at the first rental house in Phoenix. And so I put it on so we don't lose it. And so I have a little collection of my Twist bracelets, which I absolutely love them. They're so fun. And so I really value that little token from my dad. And then my husband came through with an amazing gift. He got me a walking pad. Now, this man he does not want me to have a walking pad. He limits the amount of gym equipment I can buy. In fact, I had a really cool weight bench that he just made us get rid of, and because we've been fighting over it for 2 years, because we already had a weight bench, but that weight bench was only good for a certain height for me for a few exercises, and I needed the other weight bench for a couple of the pieces that attach to the bench, like the knee extensions and the hamstring curls. But regardless, we had to downsize in that department because I was so sick of fighting over these stupid benches that apparently ruined his feng shui of the garage. And so I just thought there was no way in my greatest life that I was going to be able to get a walking pad. And if I did, I'd have to like hide it or leave it at the clinic or hide it in my closet, because I have to hide the red light in my closet because there's no like real space in our house. We have a smaller home, 3 kids, and a lot of things. And my husband doesn't like things. So we have to keep things put away. Kids have a hard time even playing with their toys without disrupting my husband's feng shui, which is a trigger for him. So we all try to respect that and keep the toys put away and limit our things in the common areas, but you can only do so much. So did I think I was getting a walking pad? Absolutely. No, I did not think I was getting a walking pad. So got a walking pad. I'm super excited to set it up. Also, yeah, so that's been a ton of fun. All right, so Christmas Day, we left for the desert. We left at 4 p.m. out of SeaTac, flew down to Phoenix, got an Airbnb. We landed at like 8, and at like 7:30, my sister-in-law gets a text, and she gets a text saying, the pool heater's broken, you won't have pool heat. We'll refund you the amount to heat the pool. And we're like, we don't care about the $350 refund. We care about the freaking $8,000 we just spent to rent your house for the next 5 days, and you don't have a pool heater. So that was a little bit of a mess. And my sister-in-law, we spent 2 nights in that first house. It had a hot tub that worked, so that was great. But we decided to leave that house, go find a new rental with a heated pool. That rental that we found, it wasn't as nice of a rental, but had a heated pool, and that is what matters for the kids. And it also had like a pickleball court / sport court. So it was super fun to play pickleball and some tennis with the kids. And I could definitely see myself getting into a pickleball league. I get why people love it. And I grew up playing pickleball in high school. I played pickleball. We had this class called racket sports. So we played pickleball. So I'm decent at pickleball. I know the rules. I just need to play someone that can actually play pickleball. My husband, that was his first time really playing pickleball. And then the kids, obviously not that much of a challenge. So I think I'm good until I play someone that actually plays pickleball. So invite me to come play with you, and I'd love to play with you. Uh, so that was our little saga. And I'm really grateful that my sister-in-law, she booked the house, she booked the second house. She really dealt with Airbnb, because I had to deal with all the problems from the last Airbnb. Actually, the last 2 Airbnbs we stayed at together, I had booked. And this year I was like, I want off the hook. I don't want to book the Airbnb. You deal with it. I booked a house in Chicago for us like a year and a half ago. And then I booked last year's Christmas house in Phoenix. And there was just like issues upon issues, the door not locking, the garbage. And I was like, I don't want to deal with that this year. So then she got it, and she's like, now she's like in a place, I'm sure she's like, I don't want to deal with that next year. So we keep talking about maybe buying our own house down there together and like having a rental property down there. I love Phoenix. I love going down there, but we've never pulled the trigger. And so it's something that's on my mind. My husband and I have wanted to do it together for a long time, but my brother's family also wants to do it. So we might do it together, might do it separately. We'll just kind of play it out. It was a goal that I had actually for myself by the end of last year. And then with the housing market and the interest rates climbing so high, I was like, you know what? I don't want to deal with that. And then Phoenix had just released a whole bunch of rules on Airbnbs. And so I was like, this is not a great investment. So I pulled the trigger and I was like, we're not going to do that. But like we love going there, and we'd love to have a house, especially to go during times we want to go, and potentially rent it out. Although the rentals just always are like, no matter how nice of a rental you have, there's always issues. There's always stuff broken. So I think you just have to assume that that would be the case with your house down there. And you probably want to get a house that was more not so fancy or not so nice, that just could kind of be destroyed by people if you do a rental, right? But who knows? So that's a lot of information, lots on my mind, and a lot to share with you today. Apparently, I even wore this like fancy rental dress that I got for New Year's Eve for our lack of plans. We're actually going down the street to our good friend Kevin and Alicia's house, and they are just hosting a little gathering. And she probably knew I was like excited to wear some rental, but she just texted me and she's like, sweats are allowed. Go ahead and wear sweats. This is super casual. So So, and my husband, before he left the house this morning, he's like, why are you wearing that? And I was like, because I'm recording our podcast and it's New Year's Eve and this is going to drop, in the new year. So why not be fancy? And he's like, okay, just make sure you change before we leave today. And I was like, no problem, because I have lunchtime hockey. And he's like, you're playing lunchtime hockey? And yes, I am indeed. Our plane landed last night from getting home from Phoenix, and I was actually supposed to play hockey last night, but I felt super sick. So I canceled that, didn't end up getting sick or anything. And I think I just needed some serious sleep, got some good sleep. Woke up this morning to go to the gym, and the gym was not open, didn't open until 8, which doesn't work for my schedule. So I came home, I lifted, just trying to get back in the routine of things. And then I am going to play lunchtime hockey to get my cardio going again. And yeah, I'm so happy to be back on track. The trip was fun, but really traveling with kids, you're just parenting in a separate place, right? Like we were just parenting in the sunshine. And I didn't have my standard childcare. I also didn't have my normal gym routines or my normal food, which all helped me feel really, really good. So when I was down there, I was not feeling really good. The first 2 days, my husband was like, are you just mad? Like, why are you mad? Do you just want to go home? And I was like, I don't feel good. Like I need my routine. I was like, I think I need my food. I need my gym. I need to move my body. And he's like, yeah, go find a gym, like do something. I ended up going on a couple hikes, and that helped my mojo tremendously. Then the sun came out, and that also helped my mojo tremendously. So I think I just needed a little bit of that, but goodness gracious, today I had a check-in with my fitness coach. And if you follow along this journey at all, you know that I work with a fitness coach in the same way that I work with people who are part of our body motion wellness fitness program, or wellness program. Really, it's not fitness just per se. It's total body health and wellness and spirituality and mojo and parenting and just being world class at being a badass mom is truly what our program is. And so, anyways, I had to check in with my own coach today, and I am not even comfortable saying how bad it was, but I just did it anyways. And I'll hopefully come back on in a couple of weeks in our next episode and be like, yep, I'm killing it in the new year. I feel super good. Yada, yada, yada. It just takes my body a few more days to adjust, but I haven't been on track food wise. Today will be my first day. Today was my first day back to exercise, and my lift felt so strong. Like I could move weight that I could not move in the last few months. So I knew my muscles needed a break. And I intentionally had planned to deload, which means I took 6 days off of lifting weights. And so my body just got to heal and recover, and it had a ton of food to do that with. And actually the first few days we were gone, I was not hitting my protein at all. And my body was so ridiculously sore. So then I increased my protein and everything felt better. But yeah, that's my little update. I also have a sore jaw. I'm just going to tangent here, and we'll talk about constipation in a hot sec, okay? But I have a root canal that I had done years ago, and I need to get it redone. But I have deep dived into functional dentistry and how root canals don't actually get the full infection out of your mouth. And so I am waiting on an appointment to hopefully get an extraction from this root canal, get this root canal taken out of my mouth, because now it's fully infected again. So I have an active infection in my bone in the jaw. And I haven't actually been feeling it. I've just been monitoring it through x-ray and with the endodontist for the last, embarrassingly, for the last 7 to 8 months, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I wasn't in pain. So I was like, I'm just going to ignore it. Not really. I was just thinking about what I was going to do, but now it's getting sore. My jaw is super sore. And so I definitely know the infection is hot, and I need to get it taken care of, getting taken out of my body. And the holidays have just made it a hot mess, right, with healthcare. So that's my plan for the new year, is just to get this extracted and then to hopefully get an implant placed there. And I'm still learning about the different kind of holistic implants, as far as not using a metal implant, because I have another implant already. But I'll kind of share maybe I'll even bring the dentist on that I'm gonna go through to get this taken care of, because I do think it's important, because I never knew that root canals could still like leave infection in your body. And I've like read some stuff about how like that low level infection can obviously predispose us to autoimmune problems. Low level infection can predispose us to having, just infection and more inflammatory responses in our body. And that can lead to many, many things like laying plaques down in our brain or clogging our arteries, right? Obviously, that's super far-fetched, but like we don't want infection in our bodies. And if you follow along our Instagram stories at all, I've constantly talked about how I have this fungus toe, and no matter the cleanses I do, whether it's celery juice or however many antifungals I use, I cannot get rid of my fungus toe. And part of me thinks that like this low level infection really prevents my body from fighting that fungus toe. Might seem far-fetched, but I've deep dived some of this and it seems like it could be related. My dentist kind of brushed it off and was like, good luck. Like, I know that's a thing, but we're just regular dentists and we're not going to go to the root cause of any of this. Totally understand that disposition. Her practice is too busy. They take insurance. Like, they don't have an option. They just got to get it done what they see. But this is my body and my one container for my entire life. So I'm about to invest in anything I can to make this be the most functional and healthy body for the rest of my life. So I will get my root canals removed if they're not appropriate for my body, or if root canals, do leave some like low grade infection or bacteria in the area. So anyways, I wasn't even planning to talk to you guys about that today because I truly want to like come on here and like just reset everybody for the new year, because I have reset myself today and I already feel amazing just having done that. So it doesn't matter how much weight you gained in the holidays. It doesn't matter if you're 15, 20, 30 pounds. Who gives a flying F? Like, just get back to your health journey and like your health and wellness, because we truly have no other option. And all it takes is one day. Sorry, I'm crossing my legs. My tailbone's actually a little sore. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But all it takes is one day. Just like cut sugar for one day, get back to eating your protein and drinking your water, maybe hit your workout and definitely hit your 10,000 steps. And all of a sudden you feel like $1,000,000. That will make you feel 10 pounds lighter. And doing that weeks and weeks and weeks is going to help you just feel so much better in your skin. It's going to help you build some muscle. And it's just going to help you in general. So hopefully getting a little New Year's reset and listening to this podcast will reset your mojo for the weeks to come. I've had such a blast coaching the women that we've coached, or the women that I coach in our wellness program. And I'm super excited to expand that program. So if you are interested at all, shoot me a DM, email me info@bodymotionpt.com, or you can sign up in the link below and we will be in touch to schedule a consultation. This program is absolutely amazing. And it really is for moms that just want to operate on a world-class level. And it's for people that like want to feel really good and are sick and tired of feeling exhausted and just want to be able to thrive in their careers, thrive in motherhood, thrive in their bodies, and some even as business owners. And so we talk all of it, talk about being world-class humans so we can contribute to society and just be amazing, right? Like have some positive impact on humanity so that so the world can be a better place. So that's really what this program is. I'm having a hard time putting together exactly what it is, but I'm sure the more I deep dive into it, the better it's going to be. The better I'm going to be able to articulate it. So yeah, right now it's just a pilot and the program is capped right now, but I would love to add some more people to it just because it's a ton of fun for me, but we'll see where that goes. Anyways, let's dive into constipation. So I just came off this travel to Arizona. The one thing I did not stop doing was taking my magnesium citrate. I absolutely love and adore magnesium citrate. I take it in the form of Calm Magnesium, which is a powder. I'll drop the link in our show notes, and you can get it on Amazon. And it's a great supplement. I just take it as a nightly tea. I usually take it because it also curbs my nighttime eating, because I know when I take my magnesium, it's almost time for bed. My body knows that it's not getting any more fuel for the day. And so it's a nice little shutdown, a nice little relaxation, and it tastes really good. So you feel like you're having a little dessert in the form of a tea. So I do love that. So magnesium is a non-negotiable for me. All right. And if you are having any issues digestively, I highly suggest that you talk to your provider about getting on some magnesium citrate and then just increasing the dose to whatever you need so you can have a really happy, healthy bowel movement. The quality of bowels is graded on what's called the Bristol stool scale. And you can have like little pebbles or you can have really hard stool, but ideally you have a type 3 stool. And the type 3 stool is soft yet well formed. And it's a consistency that you can just breathe out of your body. So you don't have to like strain and push and bear down. It should be like such a nice, easy, okay, I get an urge to poop. I'm going to go poop. I'm going to sit on the toilet. I'm going to take some deep breaths and just let the poop leave my body. Well, easier said than done often, but that's the type of consistency that we need in our stool. So magnesium helps tremendously with that. And obviously fiber is going to help a ton with that. Now, fiber from fruit and vegetables or from complex carbohydrates are going to be really good for that. Now, when I was on vacation, vegetables were not so much a part of my diet. I did take a green supplement, and maybe I will link that below too. It was a Clean Simple Eats green supplement. So I just brought the pouches with me and then mixed it. And so I could get my fruit and vegetable servings, but it didn't have the same effect on my bowels as far as like when I eat my cabbage daily, right? So I definitely recommend like get back on the fruit and vegetable train. We undereat vegetables, and there's so much good nutrients in vegetables and in berries, and not only nutrients, but also fibers, antioxidants. So get on that train, and that will help regulate your bowels. Now, my next little dose. And I don't know if I've talked about this on a podcast before, but I read the book by the medical medium, and I absolutely love his celery juicing book because I know he has a ton of different other recipes for like detoxing metals and doing different things with your body. And I haven't like deep delve into that at all, but I absolutely love how he talks about celery juice. So he and I, if I botch this, like just go buy his book, Medical Medium, Celery Juice, the standard book, and you'll see the benefits. But pretty much what he says is like, okay, you wake up in the morning, you have your empty stomach, you drink a glass of water with lemon in it, like it squeezed lemon into the water. And then you wait 15 minutes and then you do a glass of celery juice. Now, I never do the water with lemon part, just haven't gotten into it, but just doing the like juicing the raw celery every single morning helps me tremendously. And now I don't do it every single morning. I did for like 30 days. I did the suggested like detox that he suggests, but now I just do it when I need it or like after I travel or like have gone on vacation. I would love to do it while on vacation. That would be epic, but I'm not going to travel with my juicer. And it's really hard to like buy fresh pressed celery juice. There's usually like some level of preservatives in it, and you really just want to juice it and then drink it right away. You don't want it to sit out. So as far as that is concerned, I highly recommend like just getting a juicer or borrowing your friend's juicer, juicing the celery in the morning, and then on your empty stomach, wait 30 minutes, and then you eat your food, your first meal. And holy moly, will that fix any constipation you have had? 100% absolutely. The celery juice is so purifying for your gut. Now, I do think that there's a little like aspect of energy healing in the celery juice because he describes it in the book, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, okay, this makes it feel like it's working even better or working even more. So he describes that when you juice the celery, that the celery like comes down into its more cellular level, and these little, because you're breaking up the fiber of the celery, you excrete and juice what's called sodium salt clusters. And then he says that it's the sodium salt clusters from the celery juice that is a natural electrolyte, but also it scrubs your cells. So it goes into your mouth and it scrubs the cells clean. So for my infected jaw here, I've been swishing the celery juice. I'm going to hit that again today. I need to get back in that train just for the infection there. And then it goes into your esophagus and it scrubs the cells of your esophagus. Then it goes all the way down into your stomach and it scrubs the cells of your stomach. And then it goes all the way into your small intestine, scrubs the cells of your small intestine. Also, then some goes into your gallbladder and your liver. And it's just like scrubbing all the cells. And then it goes into your large intestine and scrubs the cells there. And then it comes out, right? And you just like kind of visualize as you're drinking it, you're visualizing it scrubbing all your cells. So it does feel super purifying. Now, if that's just an energy technique or a placebo technique, I'm here for it because it's super awesome. And I would love to believe that it's like scrubbing my liver, even my heart. Like, oh, how good does that sound? Like it's just scrubbing the cells clean. So for me, that is just, I love that. And that has been just really, really great technique. So I love the celery juice, love my magnesium. And then next up, I use raw psyllium. Now, raw psyllium is absolutely disgusting. And if you don't want to use it in just the raw psyllium form, you can get Metamucil or you can do Fiberlize. And Fiberlize does have a sucrose in it. But I have used that supplement a little bit, especially if like I'm wanting to eat more at night and I'm like, I just need a treat. It's raw psyllium, but with like, make it taste like fruit punch or make it taste like mango. And it's super bulky, so it fills up your stomach. So you feel like you just had a huge meal. So raw psyllium can be really nice in that regard, can kind of be like that satiety aspect. And also it is great because if you are constipated, it's going to draw water into the colon. But if you are having loose stool, it's going to repel water away and be a bulking agent. So it's kind of nice because it can be that balancer. Now, I will say if you have anal fissures or you're dealing with hemorrhoids, it can sometimes be rough on the anal fissures. So it's just one of those things to keep an eye on. And if the raw psyllium isn't sitting well with you, then probably not for you. These are really just general general recommendations, and you should absolutely talk with your healthcare provider to make sure that it's right for your body and your specific condition. But the magnesium citrate, I love for my bowels. The celery juice is absolutely crucial and amazing for me. And then I love myself some psyllium, so raw psyllium. So, and I don't love it in the pill form, by the way. I just think it's not as effective and not as good in the pill form. So I know a lot of parents that will make like muffins and use raw psyllium for their kids to like shove them some fiber and help with their constipation and bowels. You do have to make sure you're drinking enough water though, if you are taking the raw psyllium. So those are my little bowel hacks and how to debloat yourself in this new year. I hope this reaches you in time so it can help you feel absolutely epic and amazing. I know a lot of people will continue their holiday binge until probably maybe January 6th. Is that the day of next Monday? When people will be like, okay, now I'm on my diet. Yeah, January 6th. But just start now. Just start this like bowel health situation now. We'll talk, maybe I'll bring an expert on to talk more about like prebiotics and probiotics. I'll find someone, or if you have one of your favorite people, one of your favorite gut people or naturopathic doctors, I'd love to get them on here to talk about a little bit more about the gut. But those are some of my quick fixes for the gut. Also, the best thing, and I can't believe I didn't mention this till the very end, is the best thing, like some of the other stuff that is absolutely essential is doing your own colon massage. So you can go on our YouTube channel or you can go on our Instagram and find examples of me teaching how to do a colon massage to yourself. It's just through your belly and it's absolutely amazing to stimulate peristalsis and to get some really good evacuation and cleaning out your bowels. The other thing that you can do is work with a pelvic floor therapist. Now, I haven't had an appointment in over a month and I can absolutely feel it. Hence why I commented earlier that my tailbone was irritated. And so I absolutely know I'm overdue for that. So that is on my plan for this coming week will to absolutely be to get to a pelvic floor exam. But getting your pelvic floor treated and worked on helps open up the extensibility of the muscle. When you open up your extensibility of your muscles, there's this muscle called the puborectalis. And when that muscle can open and is not as tight, you will get a better evacuation and full release of your colon. So the rectum can get all the poop out. So you will have a lot less residual poop in there. And that is absolutely amazing for complete emptying. And so I highly recommend working with a pelvic floor therapist to get treatment and get it consistently, because it just helps everything. It helps your hips, your knees, your back, everything, but also helps you get full evacuation of pooping, and of your stool. And especially when you go to wipe, and if you still have, like, if it's really hard to get a clean wipe, which it has been for me recently, then that means that, yeah, TMI, I know, but that means that you need your pelvic floor worked on, because stool is getting trapped. It's not fully evacuating. And if it's not fully evacuating, it's most likely because that muscle isn't fully letting go. For me, I know that muscle is not fully letting go because my tailbone is super irritated and I'm having a hard time just sitting on my hard dining room chair giving you this podcast right now. So I know that I am overdue for some internal pelvic floor work. And also with the wiping, not being able to get a clean wipe, I know I'm absolutely due for some pelvic floor work, so I can help get rid of that and cure that. So those are just my hot tips for constipation and management of your bowels, debloating your body for this new year. And I hope you found it helpful. I am Dr. Allison Feldt. I am wrapping up this podcast. I did post on the Instagram a question. I was like, what do you guys want to know for the podcast recording that I'm doing today? And let's see, people wanted to know if I was in Phoenix, which I absolutely was, Phoenix, Scottsdale, and love all those areas. And also, people, like, the one question came in, where are you now with kids, family, wife, etc. I don't have a wife, but I do have a husband. And we are married. I don't know how long we've been married. I guess we've been married for 15 years. Is it 15 years? 10 years. I don't know. Who's counting? 10 years. We've been married for 10 years because we got married in 2014. And actually, I had wanted to go to Greece for our 10-year anniversary, and that never happened. Haven't planned that. I know I need to be the one to plan it, and I'm not a good trip planner, to believe it or not. So I'm now thinking maybe for my 40th birthday, which is in like a year and a half, that could be a good like present to go to Greece. I just need an excuse to go to Greece. I don't even need an excuse. I just need to plan the trip because I am really eager to go there. That's kind of my bucket list in the near future. But anyways, besides the point, we've been married for 10 years. We have 3 children, 9, 7, and 3. And sometimes I remember their ages. Oftentimes I don't. I have a girl, boy, girl. And they are, the 2 older ones are in sports. The youngest is not in sports. And hockey, baseball, basketball, and soccer are really our jam right now. And yeah, that's where I'm at. Run this business of body motion physical therapy, and then pioneering this new wellness program that I'm super uber pumped about. And yeah, how do I do it all? I wake up at 4 a.m, pretty much every single day, sometimes 4:30. I make sure I take care of myself. I get my water. I make sure my food is prepped. I make sure that I'm getting my steps in. I try to hit my lifts. I always hit my lifts, really, to be honest with you. I don't skip it. My workouts are in the morning. That's what gets my brain thriving the best. And then I can usually hit the pillow by 9 p.m. Sometimes a little later if someone has a later sports practice and I'm doing the carpool at the evening sports practice. But really shoot for that 9 p.m. bedtime so I can be raring to go between 4 and 4:30. And I usually wake up with a ton of energy, and I'm pretty failed by the evening. So if my husband wants to have a serious conversation or have some kind of, when you're not fighting, right? But like, yeah, I guess fighting. If you want to have a serious, like, why are the dishes still in the sink conversation, but really I'm just mad because you didn't do X, Y, and Z 2 weeks ago, I can't have that conversation at night. That has to happen during the day for me. I am not prime time at night. Pretty much prime time ends for me around 5:30 or 6. So any conversation that's serious or needs like actual intellect happening needs to happen in the beginning of the day, for my brain to function. My husband's the opposite. So our paths crossing is not ideal because, like, I'm prime time in the morning, he's prime time at night. And so it's hard to get our prime times to cross. So daytime is the best for us. But that's not always feasible. So that's a little bit about me. And maybe I will drop more about me, the kids, and life in general in the next episode. Keep sending me questions. I love chatting and I love talking about it. I hope you grabbed something from this podcast, whether it was to fix your constipation or just to normalize a little bit of life that you're going through. I'm Dr. Allison Feldt. Thank you so much for being with me. Happy New Year to you. I am pumped to hear what your New Year's goals are. And if you want to work with body motion to fix your constipation, hit us up. If you want to work with me personally to be absolutely world class at everything that you do, hit me up. All right, talk to you soon.